Well, good morning, Gospel Life Church. Welcome to today's daily devotional. A couple things before we get started and get into the Word this morning. I wanted to make everybody aware that if you are interested in producing your own little video, we're looking for some testimonies of some people during this time, or just some general testimonies that you can record and you can send to me, and then I'll post them up for everybody to see. So if you're interested in doing that, get in touch with me and I'll give you all the details about it. I'll be sending a note out as well to the church later this week. So today, for the devotional, we're going to be in 1 Peter chapter 3, and we're going to start in verse 8. So 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8. Finally, all of you, have unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, and a humble mind. Do not repay evil for evil or reviling for reviling, but on the contrary, bless, for this is what you are called, that you may obtain a blessing. For whoever desires to love and see good days, let him keep his tongue from evil and his lips from speaking deceit. Let him turn away from evil and do good. Let him seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil. Now, who is there to harm you if you are zealous for what is good? But even if you should suffer for righteousness' sake, you will be blessed. Have no fear, nor be troubled, but your hearts honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you. Yet do it with gentleness and respect, having good conscience, so that you are not slandered. Those who revile you, your good behavior in Christ may be put to shame. For it is better to suffer doing good, if that should be God's will, than for doing evil. So a little bit of context for Peter's writing here. He's in Rome, and he's sending the letters to the churches in Asia Minor, many of which are facing suffering and persecution. So three major things here that I see in this passage for us today. First is the commands at the beginning here. Verse 8 and verse 9, we're told to have a unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, and a humble mind. And also not to repay evil for evil, reviling for reviling, but rather to bless. So the question here for us is, can we say that these are true of us? The chances are there's probably some of these areas that maybe we've struggled with even recently, and they're a good reminder, a good thing to know what is accepted of or expected of us as believers. Peter was talking to believers here with these commands. The second part here of this passage is actually a reciting of a portion of Psalm 34. So, what is this psalm saying here? It's saying to turn from evil and receive benefits, and then specifically the tongue is mentioned here. Obvious questions here for us are: have we turned from evil? Is our tongue pure? So be thinking of that. Answer those questions for yourself. And then the last part here is talking about enduring suffering. So theirs is a different type of suffering than what we might be facing right now. They're facing persecution, but I think there's some similarities here to the suffering that we're experiencing. The first truth here from verse 14 is that we might be called to suffer for righteousness' sake. Verse 15 I really like, and what really drew me to this passage is the fact that we should be always prepared to give a defense. We see that with Peter, various places in Acts where he is quick to proclaim the truth of the gospel. So the question for us is, are we prepared? Do we know the gospel? Can we articulate it? And can we share adequately what we believe? Can we show the right passages within the Bible? Verse 15, the back half, I think is critical in all of that. It says to do it with gentleness and respect. Unfortunately, this part is often forgotten. Are we being Christ-like in our presentation of the gospel? So whether that's on social media or in person, the fact is that the gospel's offensive, but we shouldn't be. The last piece here, just in closing, I wanted to also share another verse from 1 Peter, a couple verses. Is 1 Peter 1, 6 through 7. It says, "In this you rejoice, though now for a little while, if necessary, you have been grieved by various trials, so that the tested genuineness of your faith, more precious than gold that perishes through the tested, is that though it is tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and glory and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ." I hope that today you can take hope in that promise. Have a great day.